to episode 131 of the Graceful Tangle podcast. I'm Amy Kate. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am really excited to be back with you guys this week with another podcast episode. I have so many things to share with you. Lots of progress on some projects I've been working on for a little while now, and I've started a couple of new things, which is always super exciting. But yeah, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and check out all of the links in the description box below. You can find the links to some specific things that I'm going to be talking about today, as well as some patterns that will be mentioned, social media platforms, and all of my pattern shops. So it's always a really good place to check out. I do want to address one little issue real quick. Last week, or a couple weeks ago, at least, last episode, that's what I should say, there were a couple of audio issues. I am in the process of kind of switching devices a little bit, and so I'm still just in the learning process of navigating all of that technical stuff. That is very much a learning curve. And then the software that I use to edit videos was due for an update, and I didn't realize it, and so I think that's what was causing those issues. But everything should be resolved now. I think we're on the right track, hopefully, because it has been quite the stressful process. But yeah, I just want to address that. I know there's an issue, but hopefully this episode will be good without any technical difficulties. That is definitely the hope. But with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and hop into the knit crochet content today with some finished objects. Alrighty, I have quite a few FOs this week, most of which, possibly all of which, are designs that have now been released over the past couple of weeks since I last filmed. So first up, we have the Advent Cowls. So this is a pattern that I designed specifically for the Advent calendars that I launched and sold a couple of months ago. It's just like a really basic pattern that is definitely designed for you to kind of take it and run with it. It's written for 2 different weights, DK or worsted, and then fingering weight. Really just the numbers and the hook sizes change a little bit. It's the same pattern base. But yeah, so I used like specific yarns for my samples, and I used 3 colors. But like I said, take the pattern and run with it. You could do a solid color, you could use an Advent and do 24 different colors and stripe them and make it longer. There's instructions if you want to make it wider as well. It's just a really simple pattern. You can easily follow it exactly how it's written, but you can also customize it in so many different ways, which is really fun. So I'll link to the pattern down below, but I made 2 samples, the DK or worsted weight version, which is what this is, and then I also made a fingering weight version. I think, yeah, there's like a leaf. I took pictures outside of these, and I got a leaf stuck on this one. But here is the fingering weight version. I absolutely love how this one turned out. I think it's so cute. I love the colors. I used We Crochet Stroll Tweed for this one. And I forgot all of the colorway names. I think this one is Amethyst something. This one might be Turmeric. I'm not sure, but it's a really pretty lavender, this mustard color, and then the gray to kind of tie it all together. So pretty. I will actually put this one on to show you guys what it looks like on. But I just think it's so cute. I really love it. It's very lightweight and cozy and warm. It'd be really cute to kind of stuff like under a coat for a nice and bundled look, but you could also, kind of pair it with like a t-shirt like this, and just add a little bit of warmth around your neck. So anyways, I love how these turned out, and I hope that you guys are enjoying them. The pattern was so well received, which is always so fun, and I'm so grateful for that. But yeah, so those are finished objects 1 and 2. And then next up, another design. This one released on Thanksgiving Day. It is the Thankful Cowl. I released the Thankful Beanie last year, and so this is the matching cowl, and here's what it looks like. So it has a really pretty cabled design. Super simple cables. I have a video tutorial included in the pattern for how to work them without a cable needle, which I prefer, but you could also use a cable needle if you decide to. I used Knit Picks Muse hand painted in the colorway Gratitude, and I just love this color so much. It is so perfect for fall, in my opinion. I just love it. I love it, love it, love it. I think it's so beautiful. And Muse is one of my absolute favorite yarns. It's a single ply wool, and it is so nice to work with, but it's also so incredibly soft. I've made lots of cowls and beanies with it, and it is just perfect. I love it. I've also made the slipper socks pattern that I have available in my shops. It's a free pattern, and it uses Muse as well, so it makes really, really cozy socks too, which is perfect for this time of year. So anyway, that pattern launched on Thanksgiving Day, which was really special. Obviously, it always adds, you know, something big to get done very early in the day on a holiday like that. But it was really special to release it on that day as well. And then last but not least, unless I'm forgetting something, which I hope I'm not, maybe I should actually reference the show notes that I wrote. That would be wise. Last but not least, I have a new dishcloth pattern available. At the time that I'm filming this, it is Friday, December 2nd, by the way. This pattern is releasing tomorrow, but you will be seeing this podcast either on or after Tuesday, whatever date that is. So this pattern is now available, but these are the pine dishcloths. I love how this pattern turned out. I am so pumped about it. I'll share it in a little bit, but I'm designing a blanket to go along, or that uses the same stitch pattern to kind of go along the same idea. But I wanted to release a dishcloth pattern in it as well because I just thought that would be so fun and special. So that's exactly what this one is. I chose 3 colors of recrochet dishy that kind of reminded me of the Christmas season. Kind of went for like a more traditional look with a red and green, and then I did a like khaki brown color instead of white because white dishcloths to me just don't make a whole lot of sense. They're beautiful, but not super useful, I don't think. Like, I would not trust myself to use a white dishcloth and not stain it the first time I used it. So we went for brown, but I really love the way that all of these look together. So this is just a really simple crochet dishcloth pattern. It's worked from the bottom up in one piece. You make this like a center panel with the really beautiful pine stitch, and then I did a single crochet border around the entire thing, and I did 3 rounds, so you can adjust that however you want to. Instructions are provided in the pattern for how to make the dishcloth in any size, but I really like the look of a thicker border with this stitch. I'm going to be doing the same thing on the blanket as well, and I just love the way that it looks. So anyway, you can find this pattern on Ravelry and Etsy or free on the blog. I will link to all of those places down below if you want to check it out. But yeah, it has been so fun this year. I've hosted a Dishcloth Make-A-Long, so it's been a lot of fun to host that, but then it's also been so fun to just design so many dishcloths and release them. I love knitting and crocheting dishcloths. I think it's the best way to try out new stitches, to make something quick and easy and get it done. They make great gifts because anybody and everybody can use a dishcloth or a washcloth, whichever. So they're one of my favorite things to make for sure. And dishy is my favorite cotton yarn, so it really has just worked out well. I'm excited to continue designing dishcloths next year for sure. Alrighty, that is it for all of the FOs this week that are designs that have already been released. At least I have a couple more things that I finished, but I'm gonna share them a little bit later. Let's go ahead and hop into works in progress because I have a couple of really, really fun things that I'm working on lately. Okay, the first thing that I'm working on this week is a pair of socks. I'm actually housing this. I'll show this bag. This is from Knitter's Pride. It's the Mindful project bag. So I've shared the Mindful needle sets in the past. I did a campaign with them to kind of promote that product. But they sent over this project bag and I think it's so pretty. I also love the detail of like the zipper pull. It's kind of that same design. I am a sucker for little details like that. So anyway, so very much enjoying this project bag. But I am working on a pair of socks. These are a gift for a family member and I don't want them to see this. So I'm not going to say who it's for, but they're going really well. I have not made a pair of fingering weight socks in a bit, so it's kind of interesting to get back into the hang of it. I've been working with worsted and bulky yarns so much lately for so many different projects, so it's definitely a jump to go to fingering weight yarn and size 1 needles, but I'm fully enjoying it nonetheless. I love knitting socks so much. They're just so mindless and easy, and I can just knit stockinette forever, which is exactly what I need right now, and basically always, it feels like. But anyways, here's what the sock currently looks like. I am just using my Success Socks pattern. I'll link it below. It's my standard cuff down vanilla sock recipe. Super simple. I have it like memorized by now, so it's just really mindless, which I love. And then I'm using my Chaogu needles, which are my favorite sock needles that I have found so far. Fully enjoying this project. I don't think I have the label in here for this yarn, unfortunately, but it is a yarn by Hobie, and I don't think I have another scan of it exactly, so I will try and link it below if I can figure out what it is. I think one of their sock yarns is called Atlas, and I've used it before, and this might be like the speckled version of that, but it's definitely just a basic 75-25 blend, fingering weight, very standard, but very pretty socks. I think the recipe is going to love them, which makes me so happy. I love making gifts and giving gifts. It is just so special. It gets me so excited for the holiday season. There's a little level of, you know, I hesitate to say stress because I never want to be stressed out about making gifts, but it has happened before where I was. It just, you know, you want to make sure the person is going to love whatever it is, especially because a lot of time goes into it and a lot of thought and care. But I've gotten better about, you know, just kind of knowing what that person will actually use and appreciate, which is really fun and really special. So I'm very excited to finish up this pair and then gift them so soon. I cannot believe we're already in December. I'm so excited. It's my favorite time of the year. I love this time, but where has 2022 gone? I have no idea. Alrighty, the next thing that I am working on is a blanket. I am literally working on 4 blankets right now. Why I thought that was a good idea, I do not know. It's about to be 5, actually, if you really want to know. But yeah, we're just gonna go with it. It's okay. I love making blankets. I just don't know why I do so many at once. But this one I have just barely started, but I'm so beyond excited about it. This is going to be a faux fur blanket. So the squish level and the soft level and the comfort level is going to be off the charts amazing. I am so excited about this project. I am using this yarn by Hobie. It's my first time ever using it. It's called Peacock. It's a 100% polyester yarn, number 5, bulky, 100 grams or 71 yards. It is almost exactly the same as We Crochet Fable Fur. If you are familiar with that yarn, it's even like the same yardage and everything. So super soft and cozy, and I am using it to make a blanket. I have been wanting to make a faux fur blanket for so long now, and so I am very excited to finally be doing that. I actually have yarn to make 2, so I have this one, which is like a really light gray, and then I have this color, which is a blue. It actually matches this shirt, like, exactly, which is fun. And Hobie doesn't put the color names on their labels, but this one is the number 12, if you're curious. And then this one is the number 8. So I'm going to be making 2. I don't know when I'm going to make this one, but I'm kind of leaning towards maybe January. I went through my stash like last month, I think it was, maybe the month before last actually, because we're in December now. But I kind of went through and like made a list of things that I want to make, very intentional about just having plans for everything in my stash. And so, you know, definitely gonna be making that soon, but not like exactly this moment, of course. Anyways, so this is a pattern that I am making from Mama in a Stitch. I will link the blog post down below. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. But I am kind of using her pattern as like a guideline to know how big the blanket can be. It's a free pattern, so for example, she says to chain 64. I just did 60. So I'm kind of, my goal is to make it a square. I'm not exactly sure if that's going to happen. She gave measurements in the pattern, but I couldn't quite tell if it was like width by length, and I think it was like 48 by 36 or something, which I would love for it to be more like 50 by 50 would be perfect. I don't think this is 50 inches long. It's close, but it might actually be. I'm 5'1", so I'm like 61 inches tall. This very well might only be 10 inches shorter than me. Such a short person, y'all. That does not seem very wide. Anyway, my goal is to make it be a square. I have 9 balls of this yarn, and I'm just gonna go until I run out of yarn, and hopefully it will be as close to a square as possible. I don't think there's going to be any need for like an edging or anything for this project, because you really can't even figure out like where the stitches actually are. It's just like a big piece of fur basically, which I'm not complaining about. I'm also having a lot of fun crocheting with it, so I can do a review on this yarn if you think that would be helpful, because it's definitely tricky to like see your stitches, but you really just have to go by feel and go with it. The beauty of this yarn is that while it's a little bit hard to see your stitches, it also means that it's impossible to see mistakes, so just kind of give yourself grace and have fun with it is what I'm going with. But I am fully enjoying this blanket so far. I just started it last night. I'm literally on like row 3, but it has been amazing, and I am absolutely loving it. So that is that work in progress. I'm also using a, what size hook is this? 12mm hook, if you are curious, and I am really enjoying the gauge that I'm getting. So I wouldn't want to go up and I wouldn't want to go down. It's pretty perfect, I think. Okay, so that is that project. Next up is the last whip that isn't a design is my Advent blanket. Oh my goodness, I am so pumped about this project. So I switched Advent calendars with Eden from Crafting Quick and Made up in Canada, my dear friend Eden. I am so grateful for her. It's absolutely amazing how social media can bring, you know, me, I'm in Alabama, so I am way south in the States, and she is up north in Canada. Absolutely crazy, but we have become such great friends just through Instagram, which is so beautiful and amazing. Last year we swapped Advent calendars, and we did the same exact thing this year. And so I am making a project using all of this Advent yarn, and it's going to be so special. I did the same thing last year. I did a corner to corner granny square blanket, and I used only the Advent yarn. So I just held the fingering weight yarn and then swapped colors every time, or every day with each day. This year I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm still making a blanket because I really just love the idea of having all of those colors in one project and then using it. But I am holding each color together with this yarn. This is Hobie Kind Feather. It is a 100% premium acrylic yarn, anti-pilling, so that's exciting. But this is a, like I said, 100% acrylic. This is a size 3, so a DK weight yarn, 257 yards per 100 grams. So I have about 8 balls of this, I think, and I am holding a strand of this with the fingering weight yarn. This is day 2's yarn. So this is a fingering weight, this is DK. I'm holding it together, and it's about a worsted. And so every single day I will just get the new Advent yarn and hold it together with this color, and it's just gonna kind of like merle together so beautifully. You can kind of see, like, I did day 1 yesterday for the first, and it was a like green multi yarn, and I held it together with that. So anyway, I'm so excited about this. I'm just doing a half double crochet blanket, so I'm just going to increase until I reach day 12, and then I'll decrease for the second half of the month, or second half of the calendar, I guess. And then I'm hoping to add a border. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do that yet, but that's the plan, and then it'll be done. So it has been so fun already. I started it last night and kind of just decided what I was going to make and went with it. I'm not using a pattern. It's just really simple. I'm literally increasing on both sides every round, every row, just doing half double crochet, and then to decrease, I'll decrease on both sides every row, and that'll be that. So super duper simple. And I'm also using an 8mm hook, so it goes by quick. It's a really beautiful gauge. It took me about 30 minutes last night. I watched part of a Christmas movie, and I had a candle lit, and it was late at night, so I was the only one up. It was so fun, like seriously so fun. Best way to end the day. And it took about 30 minutes, which is perfect. Sometimes, you know, if you're working with fingering weight yarn and you have a 20-gram mini, it can take a while to make, and I just don't have a whole bunch of time to spare during the day right now in this season of life, and so it's really perfect to be able to have something to work on every single day, just a little bit. And I'm hoping to stay on track this year. Last year I fell a little bit off track. I would love to do it every day this year, and so that is the hope. But I am absolutely loving this project already. It has been so special, and I'm so excited to work on it every day until Christmas. It's going to be so much fun. And that is it for all of the whips that I currently have going that aren't designs. But I have 2 blanket designs that I am currently working on. So let's go ahead and chat about those. Alrighty, so I am working on 2 blanket designs, but I also finished up updating 2 patterns. These are going to kind of relaunch very soon. I can't remember if I showed these last week, honestly, or not, but regardless, I'm going to go ahead and show them again because both pairs are completely done. But I am working on updating my Success Socks patterns just a little bit, just kind of giving them a refresh and changing up the patterns just a little bit to make them better. And so I have finished that. These are the DK Success Socks. So, I mean, really not much to talk about. I just like standard vanilla socks. Really basic. I just wanted to give the patterns a little bit of a facelift. And so that's what I'm doing. But here's this pair. I use Nippic City Tweed DK for these. This really, really pretty pink color. And then I did the same thing for the bulky Success Socks. For these, I used Hobie Amigo Chunky. Also love this color, and they are so soft and squishy. So finished up both of those this past week, in the past couple of weeks, I suppose. And I am also working on a couple of blankets, of course. So this one is going to be releasing first. And I have put so much work into it. It's a really simple pattern, and the pattern is basically done. I'm just trying to finish the sample. And it is taking a while because it is a blanket. But this is going to be my Christmas blanket, and I am so very excited about it. So this is the same stitch pattern as the pine dishcloth. This will be the pine throw. And here's what it currently looks like. It is big. It's gonna be a square, 50 by 50 inches is the plan, and I am just loving it. It's been so special and mindless to work on. I've worked on it a ton. I mean, while we've watched movies and shows and just, you know, on my own, it's been a lot of fun and a lot of work, and I have absolutely loved it. I am using Logo Comfort yarn, in the colorway, see, just a number, if I can find it, color 5752. It's a really pretty green, and there's what it looks like. I am loving it. I really like the shade of green. I think it's perfect for the Christmas season, and so I have just had so much fun working on this project. It has been an absolute joy, and I'm hoping to release this pattern very soon in the next couple of weeks. Obviously it's going to look absolutely beautiful in any color, so it does not have to be a Christmas blanket necessarily. That was just my inspiration behind it, and so that's the design that I decided to go with. I also love it when blankets are at the point where they can be folded, because it's just so satisfying to look at a piece of folded fabric that you made. I love it. Love that feeling so much. And then the other blanket that I'm working on, I have showed this one a few times already. This is going to be my first release of the new year, and it is the Genesis blanket. So I'm kind of at a stopping place with this project. I finished the ball that I was currently working on, but I didn't finish the bow because I ran out of yarn. So kind of an awkward place to show it, I guess. But it has grown a little bit since I last showed it. I'm going to be working on this a lot more later in the month once I finish gifts and the Christmas throw. This is kind of going to be the project that I work on just kind of mindlessly, like throughout the month. But here's what it currently looks like. I just love it. I'm using Hobie Amigo Chunky. I don't remember the colorway. Let's see. Oh wow, this skein is already partially used, of course. Color number 38. It is the perfect shade of mustard. This is like my absolute favorite color ever. I am obsessed with it. I'm so happy I found this yarn because it's exactly what I was looking for this blanket. And it is going to be so soft and squishy. This is going to be a legitimate blanket. So 50 by 60 inches. That's kind of the size that I have grown to prefer. So very big, very cozy, very warm. Very excited about it. I'm also using my Knitter's Pride Day and Night needles. I have a review for these on my channel that I will link down below. But I love them. They are my favorite wooden needles ever. I'm having so much fun using them, and these are size 11s. So really beautiful gauge that I'm getting because of that with this chunky yarn. So very exciting projects. I am really looking forward to spending more time on all of them. I also have a blanket commission that I'm going to be starting soon. So that is going to be a ton of work because it is going to be a big blanket. Bulky white yarn as well, but I will share that along the way. And yeah, I think that is it for all of the knit and crochet content for this episode. I do have a devotional that I would love to share with you guys, so I hope that you choose to stick around for that. So for devotional this week, I wanted to talk about a verse that really stuck out to me when I read it like a week ago now maybe, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. So as I've mentioned many times before, this year I'm going through a chronological Bible reading plan. It's so crazy and beautiful and amazing because we are in the month of December. So by December 31st, I will have read the entire Bible, which is so exciting. Obviously this is something that I would have loved to say that I did earlier in life, but at the same time I'm so grateful to have done it now and then to just start it over next year. It's just really cool. I've learned so much this year. I've grown in so many ways because of this plan, and I'm really excited to finish off the year strong because of it. So I'm in the New Testament now, and I was reading through Romans. Romans 12:2 is a verse that I have heard so many times. I think we're all pretty familiar with it, but the second half of the verse really stood out to me, and I think it can often be missed or overlooked, but it's just as important in my mind, and so I wanted to share it with you. So Romans 12:2 says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will." So the first half of that verse, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's a verse I'm really familiar with. It's a verse that I try to live by, but we know it's hard in today's society. It's hard to not conform to exactly what the verse says. The patterns of this world, what the world is turning to for satisfaction and hope and joy, is not where it is truly found. We can find true hope, true peace, true love, true joy, true excitement, and hope for what's to come because of Jesus and because what he has done for us already and what he will continue to do as we continue to pursue a relationship with him, and strive to glorify him in all that we set out to do. But the second half of that verse, it just gives the purpose behind the first half. You know, we strive to not conform to the patterns of this world so that our minds are set on his will for us, which is good. And I just love that. I hadn't thought a whole lot about that in the past, but when I read it, it really stuck out to me. I kind of shared it with my mom. I think so often we take verses out of context because they're easy to apply to many situations in life, but there's so much beauty in understanding the context surrounding that verse, and this I think is a really good example of that. You know, his plans are good and his timing is perfect because we love him and we are called according to his purpose, and when we are seeking to please him and to conform to his ways and his paths for us, his will be done because we're pursuing it and not our own. And I just think that's so beautiful. It's not something that's easy to do. It requires, you know, that daily sacrifice and that lifelong commitment, but at the same time, it's so beautiful and so worth it. And I am so eager to continue pursuing that. In all of my imperfections and flaws, he is still so good. And the same is true for you. He is so good, and his timing is perfect. His plans are good, and as you love him and as you pursue him, he will pursue and chase after you. And it is the most beautiful and freeing feeling to fully embrace that. So I hope that was encouraging for you. It was definitely just really good to think about over the past week or so after reading it. But yeah, it's been so amazing to follow that plan this year for sure. I also wanted to share a book that I'm currently reading. I am not far into it, but if you are looking for a good Christmas or holiday book, I highly recommend this one already. It's called The Christmas Box by Richard Paul Evans. It's actually one that my mom recommended. I have a whole stack to my right here of books that I'm going to attempt to read over this season. My family loves books. We have so many. We also homeschool, and so it's just kind of part of it, but both my parents love books, so we just have so many. And earlier this week I was talking about trying to go through an Advent study, and so I was trying to like get their input and advice, and they were talking about all of these books and ended up just pulling off a whole stack. So it's kind of overwhelming, but also exciting because they're all going to be so good. But anyway, so this is just the first one that I have started with. I think I'm literally on chapter 2. Obviously not far into it, but I'm excited to continue reading it, and then I can share more. I'm sure we'll have finished it by the next podcast, so that can be the plan. But I'm so excited for this season. I hope that you are having a beautiful start to your Christmas and holiday season, however and whatever you choose to celebrate. I hope that you are finding so much joy in it, and I hope that no matter whatever you're walking through, you are so loved and seen and appreciated. And I just pray that that is evident in your life throughout this season. But thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the episode. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and check out all of the links in the description box below. Until next time, happy making. Bye.